Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be reviewing Secrets of Sulphur Springs Season 1 Episode 7 called Long Time Gone. And before you stop typing in the comments, what happened to Big Secret in Season 2 and Season 2 and started taking a break from Secrets of Sulphur Springs? Because I reached a midway point. Because I realized there was like, what was it? It's kind of like, I guess it's like a mini video where it's kind of like Cricket saying like, oh, you don't want to miss this episode, and in this episode this happens, kind of. It's kind of really fun. I want to do a reaction review for that, so that's going to happen on Friday, and this is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and it's a holiday, so I thought, and because it's an odd number, it ends in episode 11, I'm thinking, do I have to do like a double episode or something? So I figured it's like a blessing in disguise or something like that, where I'm going to do episode 7 today, and that's all for this week, for Secrets of Sulphur Springs Season 1. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do episode 7 review today, Long Time Gone. Is the episode after what we'll call the midway point, kind of. Because afterwards, you're kind of like, what's going to happen? So and then we get more questions, we get more answers, stuff. And I can't wait to talk about it. But yeah, Friday is going to be a reaction review of like a little big screens thing. I can't wait to show that. Or maybe just a review of it, or it may be a reaction review. Who knows? I still didn't think about it. But Saturday's going to be episode 1, and Sunday's going to be episode 2. And that might be all the big screen content for January. I know I was planning on doing up to episode 4, just because Secrets of Sulphur Springs Season 2 has already started. Episode 2 of Season 2 comes out this week on Friday. So, that's why I want to do episode 7 this week. And then next week I'll do episode 8, 9, 10, and 11 on Sunday. And by that Friday on episode, what was it? Episode 11, 10, episode 9, episode 3, season 2 would, episode 2, 1 and 2 are already premiered, so technically I'm already 2 episodes behind, so 3, 4, so that means, by the time I finish with season 1, 4 episodes would already premiered, for season 2, so, yeah, I had to kind of, hit the gas pedal a little bit, but not too much, because I don't want to burn myself out. So without further ado, yeah, I think this is a good idea, just to get episode 7 just out of the way and focus big screens this week, and then next week full-blown Secrets of Sulphur Springs, like boom 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 boom, on the respective days, Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and that'll be it for January, because next week is the last week of January, so we're nearly there. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, remember the last time we left off? What was it? Oh right, Harper and Griffin were caught, and Justice and Topher are there, and and everyone's kind of like kind of asking questions like, Griffin. Or maybe Topher is in there. Yeah, sorry, Topher is in there. It was just Jess. Jess, Sarah, and Ben are asking Harper and Griffin, where were you? And Topher, Wyatt, I remember Wyatt and Zoe. They're getting worried. They're saying you were out for a long time, and it's like, you guys, if you guys don't start talking, then you're not going anywhere. It's like, Harper, we're not going home until you talk. And then it's like, they're kind of like, you wouldn't, Harper's like, comes up with an explanation, like, you guys wouldn't let us see each other, so we decided to hang out and talk and sneak out, and because, we just enjoy each other's company. And Grove's like, yeah, we like to play cards, and Harper's like, yeah, we also like to make out, like, have our first kiss. And Grove's like, he didn't say anything, but he's like, what? And it's like, oh, what? And it's like, they're kind of like, so Harper's like, yeah. And they're like, okay, they just, all right, Harper, come on, let's go. And Justin, and then why was always like, I want to know more about that kiss, and why it's like, I don't, like, oh my goodness. And it's like, and Sarah's like, why, Zoe, upstairs now, like, oh, I guess Zoe wants to know. Um, what? Oh, and I actually like this where, um, Sarah's like, did you buy any of that? And Ben's like, no. So, and then, so that was pretty funny. And, I think it's like morning time. Yeah, it's like, it's the next day. And, we see, Harper, and she's like, like doodling and stuff, um, and she's working some artwork, and then and Harper said, like, I mean, Jess is like, Harper, like, yeah, mom, like, you need to talk to me. I know. He said, oh, you and Griffin, huh? It's getting serious, and she's like, oh, it's not that serious. He's like, Harper, you're growing up, but you're not telling me things, and I get worried, and it's not healthy to keep stuff in. And I'm like, lady, you don't want to talk. But and then even Harper's like, mom, like, you're not talking. What do you mean? It's like, I see the way you look at Mr. Campbell. I see the way you look at Griffin's dad. Like there's something going on, and you're not saying it. Like, how do you expect me to be honest when you're not? I don't know. And and then just like, what are you talking about? It's like, forget it, mom. Like, and it's like, okay. And just as being honest, like, oh my goodness, and we get bombshells, and she's like, what we already knew, but she comes clean to her. You're right. I went to camp here when Savannah was around and she disappeared. I was with Griffin's dad, Mr. Campbell, and Ben, and I didn't want to bring it up. You have to understand it. She's like, yeah, I understand. The heartbreak, but she's like, it's a day I couldn't, I can't forget. Like, I just don't want that to happen again. It's like, you know. And she said, like, you boy, hey, we're together and we're a family and stuff. So it's really sweet. And Harper gets a the text on her phone saying, sorry, they were like doing like a generator thing, like, and Topher was kind of complaining about it, and and she's like, oh, I wish we had a correct generator, and Topher just go fix the power, and then the power's on. Oh, cool. And then Harper's getting a text from Griffin, hey, the power's back on. Get over here now. Like, get over here now. Like, ooh. And he's like, Topher. And he's like, well, what? Um, what was it? She's like, oh, like, mom wants to, like, to see you. She said, oh, go get Topher. And he's like, oh, wait, Topher. And it's like, yeah. And he's like, He's like, no, I'm regrounded, no. And he's like, please, just 10 minutes, please. Please. And like a good little brother, it's like, oh, okay. And she's like, she gives him like one, like a hug, and Tover's like, what? And she's like, and then he puts on his, his timer. It's like, okay, 10 minutes. And then we see mine's always kind of still talking about the kiss, and like, oh. And we see Harper sneak in, and she's looking for Griffin, and Griffin's helping Dad like change the light bulb and stuff like that. And he's like, oh, come on, let's go. And they go to the basement, and they go to the basement, and I'm kind of like, oh man, it's probably not gonna work out, but who knows? Future can change. Where and future can change time travel, but she's like, oh, did you really have to do the whole kissing thing of us hanging out? And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, it was the first thing on my mind. I'm like, oh, and Griffin's like, well, it's not the first thing on my mind. I'm like, oh, and Jane, Harper's kind of like, I'm sorry, like, and so I had a bad feeling in the previous episode where Harper was kind of full smiling and Griffin's got like a little smile. I'm kind of thinking, yeah, Griffin doesn't like the idea of being together with Harper at the moment, like at this moment. But I think Harper may have like at least for the moment, a little crush. Because I thought it was Griffin with the because they don't have like mega crushes on each other. I think it's more maybe Harper has like a regular size crush and Griffin has a small one. Because Griffin was the one who started compliments. It was like episode 2 or something, episode 3, where he's like, "Oh, you look nice." Not that you didn't look nice before. Kind of you're being goofy around her, and Harper was laughing. So, but yeah, I thought he was the first one, but apparently he didn't like it. But what happens next? Oh, they I forgot which one came next. I think it was Justin Tover where they came in. Say, is Harper with you? No. Like, why would Harper be with us? No, it's like, well, she's not here. And and Topher kind of explained where I was kind of weirded out by the hug too. Where it's like, oh, that's kind of nice, but never really did anything like that before. And Topher's like, she said that she'd be gone 10 minutes and it's been over 10. Because I guess it takes a while to get to the Tremont. But she's like, she said 10 minutes. It's been past 10 minutes. And when she gave me a hug, she doesn't do that. It felt like a goodbye to her. And I was really worried. So, you kind of did the right thing telling, Jess, his mom. Excuse me. And they're kind of like, oh, kids, go search for Griffin and Harper. And they just can't find them. We can't find them all over the place. And they're trying to search for them. And Jess is kind of like, we probably need to get the police involved. And like, and this is the day Savannah like disappeared. This cannot be a coincidence. I'm like, ooh. So, oh yeah, they go through the portal and they're looking for Ben. And he's like, what's going on? Is it Savannah with you? Like, she's in her bunk, right? Like, oh, that's like the meeting bell. Like, yeah, I have to go. And they're doing like the whole like search for Savannah and theme song, girls missing, all that stuff. Title, and they're looking for Savannah, and during like that emergency, make sure everyone sticks together while they're finding her. Savannah, during the boats and stuff, they're throwing nets to see if she drowned, and then Ben's like, no, she can't be in there. She's like a really good swimmer, like she wouldn't drown, and they're kind of like, oh man. And they're kind of really worried. And Jess is like, I don't like this, Jess. She's like, oh, don't worry, she's not in there. She's not dead. She always likes to seek attention and stuff. Okay. And then Ben seems really worried because remember, Ben followed Savannah and Savannah went in that basement. Savannah's missing, but Ben's here. Did Ben meet up with her, then left? I don't know. And Griffin and Harper are like sneaking around, and I guess Officer Miller, and he's like, "Hey, look about the Savannah girl." Like, yeah, I can't find her. Didn't you do a head count? No. He's like, what happened then? He's like, well, I forgot the head counter. And it's like, oh my goodness, she wasn't there for like the head count. And this is an interesting picture. That's interesting. And they're kind of like. And talking and say, oh, I got distracted with these two kids that weren't supposed to be like in the hotel. And she's like, hey, there they are. And I'm like, and we time to run. And there's an officer behind them. Hey, no, you just stop. O'Brien. And like, oh no. And I get this part in a minute because there's like I guess they skipped a part which I didn't like, but and they're kind of like still talking. They're talking to the officer like, oh, we can't find them. Is it Topher Topher and Wyatt and Zoe went to check upstairs, and it's like, oh, they ran away together. They were taking kiss and stuff, and Topher's like, I've been covering for that. Ugh. And they're talking about Savannah, like, hey, like we found like Savannah's ghost, like, oh, that's really creepy. He's still stare at you with his big old eyes, and she's like, oh no, she didn't have eyes or a face. Well, how do you know it's her? Well, you know, it's the anniversary and ghosts and stuff, and they're kind of talking about how, you know, some people are thinking ghosts are involved when it's probably just Griffin and Harper, like you just do like Romeo and Juliet thing. So they're just having a discussion, and then with the officer, it's like, oh, officer, did you find them yet? It's like, no, we're doing everything we can. And Ben's like, how many officers do you have out there? How much are you doing? And Sarah's like, well, Ben, calm down. Like, I'm sure they're doing everything they can. It's like, oh yeah, it's like, we'll keep you updated. And he leaves. And they're kind of like, and then just like, this isn't a coincidence, Ben, that they left the day Savannah disappeared. And Ben's like, kind of thinking, I promise you one thing, Jess. I will not let what happened that day happen today. And Ben just walked away. I'm like, what happened? And what does Ben know? I transferred. I like transferring stuff. I transferred from thinking Ben did something to Savannah to Jess did something to Savannah. Now back to Ben again. He's like, they tricked you, but even in trailer, I'm like, Ben knows something, the dad knows something, and then even in the show, like, okay, we're selling to dad. Oh no, they want to trick you. It's Harper's mom. No, it was actually Ben all along. And I'm like, it's like a roller coaster, but that's like what the mystery is all about. And they're talking about something like, oh, they're trying to find the kids, and they're just super worried, and they're locked in the police car, and you're just wondering, like what to do, and just like, oh, what are we gonna do? And then they hear like a police scanner, like, hey, like, what was it? We found something in the water, and like, oh my goodness, we gotta get out of here. And it's like, okay, how do we bust out of a police car? And it's like, oh, Ben can help us, because she's like, oh, maybe we have a hanger or a brick. No, how about Ben? Ben. Oh, yeah, and then then he just walks away. Well, I'm not sure if the car was soundproof or not, but he's like, I'm sure he could have heard us. But he looked upset. Like, why wouldn't he help us? Wait, I don't know, but he looked upset. And Ben went to the basement, and he's like, oh, Savannah, hello, and just like, are you kidding me? Like, you're searching down here. Oh, Justin's like, hey, like, he's like, I'm sure everything's fine. And Ben's like not looking at her, like, hey Ben, like look at me, like, and I just want to play this right here.
Me? None of this would be happening right now if it hadn't been for you and your stupid dare. If anything, this is all your fault.
I don't want to play too much, but like, she's like, oh, you were acting weird, like during like, when we were searching for Savannah through like the waters and stuff like that, the springs, and she's like, oh, I'm acting weird. None of this would have happened if it wasn't you and your stupid dare. This is all your fault. And I'm like, oh, friendship shattered right there. And then she even feels kind of offended, because even though she's snarky, I don't think she would do something like that. I thought she would, but she didn't. She's like, how dare you? And then Ben's like, oh, Jess, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. And she's like, Jess, no, I didn't mean it. And he went after her, and like, and like, Griffin's grandfather, Ben's father, it's like he bumps into him. It's like, Ben, like, what's going on here? And he doesn't answer him. He's like, come on. He's like, I found there's a camper missing. I was from a important work meeting, and like, you're horsing around in the hotel. And he's like, and he actually grabs away from him, like, Dad, you're not listening to me. It's all my fault. And he's kind of like, he looks around, not a word about this to anyone. and just grabs him along, and then Harper's like, Griffin, did you hear that? And then Griffin's like, my dad just confessed. My dad just confessed. Like, oh my goodness. Whatever happened, Ben said it was his fault. But why move back to Sulphur Springs? They even talk about that next, where Griffin's like, my dad did it. He did something to Savannah to make her disappear. And then Harper brings up a good point. Why move back to Sulphur Springs? That's super weird. And Griffin's like, I don't know. And we head back, to the hotel, and they're searching for her, and it's not looking good. And where the security guards like, we can't find them, but because the woods are really dense, but we're still looking, and update us when you can, and we'll try to update you. And say, oh, okay, thank you. So and Jess and Ben are, and Jess is like, Topher, it's time to go, and so I'm ready when you're ready to leave, because he's ready. And just like, okay, wait in the car. It's like, okay. And it's like, I'm sorry, Jess. It's like, yeah, you said things wouldn't end up like last time. And Ben's like, I promise it won't. It's like, Ben, do you know something? Like, ever since when we were looking for her and stuff, you were acting so weird. It's like you knew something like none of us knew. Do you know something? And it could connect with Griffin and Harper? Why they're gone? And Ben's like, doesn't want to say, yeah, maybe you should go. And just like, okay, fine. And, and they just, leave. And the family's broken, they're panicking. Oh my goodness. But, oh, I forgot to mention that, there was like a police car ride where the officer's like, good officer, he's like, hey, if your friend Savannah's like, and he says, oh, how you know Savannah? And he's like, we know her, we're from school, and they're kind of not answering. Hey, if your friend's in trouble, or you know someone who did something, like, you should to tell someone to help. And then he's like, oh, Jess might, it was before they figured out what Ben said, like, it's not my fault. He's like, oh, maybe Jess is like, well, she might have. And she's like, oh, it's time for a detour, because they figured out, like, something in the water, and they realized it was a sleeping bag. But, that's the end of this, episode, I give this episode a... Is it a 10 out of 10 like last time? Let me just think about it for a second. There weren't really mistakes that I really found. I guess the really only bummer is that Griffin doesn't really feel the same way about Harper, but that's his own feelings. I shouldn't complain about his own feelings. Excuse me. So that was the only bummer, but like, can't really think of anything right now. Well, we have like new stakes and stuff. Jess, you finally confess, to the fact of like, yeah, I knew Savannah, like I knew Ben, and we have a connection. Savannah's gone, it tormented me, and we have Ben and Jess's relationship. We kind of saw how it got undone a little bit in the past, and Ben said it's all my fault, and we saw Ben fall Savannah. Savannah went to the basement. Could she have time traveled or something, or what happened? Yeah, I'm just just wondering and just wondering, like, oh my goodness. But sorry, I'm just trying to look for something, not really to nitpick, because like the Missy's finale is a 10 out of 10, and the episode right after is a 10 out of 10. That usually doesn't happen, but it might have. Hold on, let me just think about it for a little longer. Yeah, 10/10. I can't really. The dogs, like, the family dynamics look great. Topher was worried. Why and Zoe were worried. That the parents are worried. They got the police, and we have both perspectives of missing people. Through Griffin and Harper's eyes, it's like Savannah, and we have everyone else's eyes is with Griffin and Harper's disappearance. So that's actually pretty interesting. And Ben did something to Savannah. Ben just, even Griffin said, my dad just confessed. So what's gonna happen from here? But we're gonna have to figure it out next week, because this week is supposed to be strictly for Big City Green season 2. But don't worry, you'll get it Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's a guarantee. But everyone, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, give me a big thumbs up, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to share the video, and I'll see you guys on Friday for, like, Big City Green's kind of like episode has a little, like, of kind of maybe like a refresher, because it's been a while, of the episode titles coming. And I think I might even do like a reaction to it of, like, it'd be a little fun. And then Saturday and Sunday will be episode 1 and 2. So that'll be great. And yeah, I'll see you guys on Friday for that. All right, bye.